Thanks, Mahendra. I think I can get the mask off. So you know me as Mr. K. Okay, I know there are a lot of online C++ tools, and perhaps the most popular one among them is the Compiler Explorer or the Godbolt. It's so much popular that even it's become a verb, just like Google. If you have a doubt in your code, just Godbolt it. And I think the plenty of us have at least used it once in every week, but most of us don't use to its full potential as it has some of the hidden pearls. So let's discover its hidden pearls by exploring the Compiler Explorer. Now I think you can see my screen, and here it's the default interface of the Compiler Explorer. For those of who don't know about it, it's an online tool through which we can type a code in the editor here, and we can see its underlying assembly. It's just the same that you got. I have just changed some of the settings. In the settings, first of all, I have changed from the usual light mode to the dark mode, and in the editor I have enabled the font ligatures and also enabled the quick suggestions or the auto completion. And in the compilation, I have enabled the formatting on compilation so that it will automatically format us. And I think most of us are irritated by the constant yelling of the compiler explorer as it automatically compiles in every few seconds. So I have increased the compilation time to 3 seconds. That is the maximum time limit. And you can also increase it to stop the compiler from yelling. Okay, so here's the editor, and you can see its underlying assembly. And one of the things that the compiler explorer is often used is trying out the new language features and the new libraries. I also often use it, and it has a lot of libraries that we can use it. In the library section, click on it, and you will see a list of libraries. Like we have the Google benchmarks, and also the Boost, Catch2, and we have the CPP Coro, that is the coroutines abstractions for the C++ 20 coroutines for C++11 and more. And also we have other libraries like CTRE or compile time regular expression. So I will do a quick a quick demo using the FMT library. So let me just search it, and here you can see FMT. For those of us who didn't know about it, FMT is a fast and safe string formatting library. It is also the library on which the C++20's format library is based on. And we can include any libraries with just a single click. Here you can see the green button, and if I click on it, a list of the available version will appear. When I screen shared the last time, it wasn't visible. I don't know, due to maybe some bug. But when you will go to Compiler Explorer and choose, you will see a drop down list. So I can choose the 8.1.1 of the FMT. You can see here the FMT 8.1.1, or I can also choose some older version like 6.1.1, or even go to the 4 FMT version 4. So let's just click on the 8.1.1, and yes, it will be automatically installed. So let me just give a quick demo about it. Here I can, let me just include the FMT core. And format a string. Oh, my bad. Yes, you can also see the auto completion feature. And I'm going to pass some arguments. Okay. And pass some values. like CPP India Con will going to be on 6th of August. So let me just in the semicolon, and here you will see the yes, it's compiled to its underlying assembly and the completion is successful. Let me just also pass the O3 flag. So yes, now we can see the optimized assembly. So it is also useful for trying out any libraries. There are much more libraries that you can use. And the another thing that is it that it is useful for is for profiling the code. Most of us love to profile our code, and one of the method is by comparing the underlying execution time or looking at the underlying assembly. So one of the thing compiler explorer does is let us compare the underlying assembly. So it is just a small snippet of a game. It's not complete yet, but it's from a simple game. And I am just using a simple frame to just initializing a frame. And one of the cool feature of compiler explorer is that it let us add as many as source editor and compiler as we want. So let me just add a source editor and paste the same line of code here and add a compiler for this. And I think that it is one of the most responsive app that we can resize and here. And let me just yeah, choose the same compiler and add the same compiler option to make the things fair up. And from here we can change the code in one editor and see the underlying assembly, the changes on it. And in this simple code example, till now I'm not changing the standard array of the colors. So one thing I can make to optimize is that I can make it const. So let me make it const for just this example. And here we can see that that this whole around 400 line of assembly is just optimized to this 6 line of code. So because now the compiler can just just see, okay, so it's going to be const, so it will not be going to change, so it can optimize the code better. So I know after seeing this talk, you will always use the const wherever it applies to in your code base. So it's also a handy feature to just, you can say, compare the underlying assembly. But compiler explorer also has some of great tool like the diff view or the difference view. Let me just copy, yeah, provide it here and clean up a little bit mess to make the interface look great. Yes. Now we can see the underlying assembly. And it also highlights the difference between the red. So it's a handy tool to compare the assembly between 2 or 3 code bases. And not only assembly, you can also choose this to compare the error messages. Oh, it's showing an error message. Yeah. Oh, my bad. I think I misspelled the, yes, it's showing the green instead of orange instead of the green, so that there is some kind of warnings. So let me just yeah, I misspelled extra with the e. Yes, now it has changed to the green, and let me do the same here. Let me just maximize it now. Okay. So yes, now the error message has been gone, and we can also compare the output error message or assembly that we want. And there are other options like comparing the underlying connect tree code. So I'm not going to, you can say, look at it in this small example. You can explore on your own. And the next thing that it has, that that it has also a lot of tools that we can use, like some static analyzer in the add tool option. We can see different types of tool that we can use. One of them is the clang tidy. Let me just drop down here. And clang tidy is a static analyzer that we can use, and it's showing that there are no warnings. Okay, let me just also include one more tool, that is Pvr Studio. I think most of us are familiar with the Pvr Studio. Pvr Studio is an enterprise grade static analyzer. Although it's not free, but in the compiler explorer you can also use it for free, and in my opinion it is one of the best. And if I just, yes, so now it's showing that there could be, there is a warning that there could be a typecast from unsigned into unsigned char star. And we can also see the warnings by going to its website and copy the error message. So I think Pvr Studio is a definite must check in your go-to list when you are developing your code, because it saves a lot of time by by just uh, by just showing us the error messages or the potential memory leakage bugs. Now I think most of us don't have a single header file, and till now it has been one of the major drawbacks. But now Compiler Explorer also let us just add as the support for including the multiple header files or the multiple files. So here I have two files. First one is the header file that uses the optional and CTRE library. So it is just a method that extracts the number from a particular string view and returns the numbers that are extracted using the regex of the CTRE or compile time regular expression. And here in the second code, you can say source editor, I'm using this particular header file and extracting the numbers from this particular string. So in here the add, we can use the tree mode or the IDE mode. Let me just, yes, copy here and include the source file, and I want to name it as header because I have included the header. So let me just change its name here, header.hppv, and yeah, I will give it the default name. And one thing to note down here, that we have to use the compiler from here, not from the single source editors, because from here it is the all the settings are automatically configured for the multiple file options. So let me just drop down here, and yeah, to make things a little bit nice. Now our ID mode is enabled, and I didn't included the libraries, so let me just include the FMT library. I'm going to use the 8.1.1 version and the CTRE or the compile time regular expression. And let me include the trunk version here and add the flag O3 and standard equal to C++ 2A or 20. Oh, my bad. So now you see that it has compiled fine, and we can also see that there isn't any warning as it has the green icon. So with this, we can also include other files and also include the files from our even from our machine or the local machine. We can just click on the here, and from the file system, we can choose any file to load. So it's a nice replacement for your IDE. And I know till now, most of us don't use it because we have some organization's proprietary code that we don't want to upload online. As the Compiler Explorer is an open source project, and it also lets you lets you create your own private instance, or 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 you can say download offline on your local machine. So in the GitHub repo of the compiler explorer, we can see the developing option, and here running a local instance. So we can also create a local instance for and get all the features of the compiler explorer locally on our local machine. And even if you have seen Jason Turner, he also used it in his CPP weekly quiz. Sorry, it's my, I have a habit. So Jason Turner also uses it in his CPP weekly videos on YouTube. And if you have any suggestions for compiler explorer, you can just submit a pull request, and also feel free if you can contribute to the compiler explorer. And if you want to know more, the Matt Godbolt, the creator of compiler explorer, here he also has given a talk on CPP India, so you can also check it by visiting the CPP India's YouTube channel or the CPP India homepage. There you can find a link to the recording of the talk. So that's it for the day.